What is up, guys? 10vidman here, bringing another battle. Here's a underused game that I had with my good friend SinDragonLord, and checking from the teams, we got some interesting stuff. I mean, I probably have one of the weirdest Cobalion sets around, and got a bunch of other stuff. You know, Main Shao was a new underused Pokemon recently dropped from OU. Flygon I got, a Scarf Flygon. Umbreon is my Cleric. Overpeck and Slowbros, and he's got a bunch of defensive stuff like Registeel and Rhyperior, even though he told me after the bet it was supposed to have Dusclops over Rhyperior. And looking from my perspective, I would have had trouble against Dusclops, but you know, he didn't have it. So, but without further ado, I'll stop rambling and let's get this battle underway. And I just figured that Cobalion would probably be my best lead because it has all the right formula to be an excellent wall breaker. Cobalion got Stealth Rock through Black and White move tutor, so I decided to have Cobalion as my Stealth Rocker. This is not your typical Cobalion. It actually has max HP and max defense, making it a great physical wall to an extent. And he's going to lead over his Registeel. I'm going to go straight off for the taunt, getting this, preventing this thing from setting up a Stealth Rock of its own, and preventing it from Thunder Waving me. So here I predicted a switch. I was expecting him to go into something because he really couldn't do much to me. So I went for the T-Wave, just trying to cripple whatever tried to come in. But he stays in. He goes for the Seismic Toss, kind of to no avail. Don't really know what he was trying to do. I guess just get some damage off, which is fine. But, since I have max HP, it's going to do next to nothing. So, which is great for me. And what I really should have done was try to go for the Thunder Wave again. I don't know why I didn't. I should have, but that way I could have crippled the Zapdos and the switch in. So that didn't seem to be the case. I'm just going to go for the Stealth Rocks now just because that is, probably my best option. The only attacking move I actually have on this Cobalion is Volt Switch, believe it or not. So this is actually a bold Cobalion. It has no special attack investment. It uses Volt Switch to, switch out. But I do not want to take a Heat Wave, so I'm going to switch it into my Special Wall, which is my Umbreon. And Umbreon also got a very nice tutor move this not in this generation, but it's through Black and White tutors, and that is Foul Play, which is actually kind of more useful than Payback is. But as you saw there, he misses a Heat Wave, and he goes for a T-Bolt, which does a pretty decent chunk, maybe a little less than a third. I want to go for the Wish, just to, see what he wants to do, and what he, I don't know if he I didn't know if he wanted to switch out or anything, but I just decided to put up a Wish, just to see what he wanted to do. And I'm going to stay in here because I guess I predicted him to over-predict here. So he goes for the HP Ice, barely does anything to my Umbreon, and I'm going to go straight off for the Foul Play. Now, for those who are unaware, Foul Play basically uses your opponent's attack stat against them. So that's why it's so dangerous to use something like against Victinis, because they're usually banded, and it destroys them upon the switch-in, which is and it's really nice for Umbreon because most Pokemon that oppose it are usually physical attackers. So other than fighting types, Foul Play will do a pretty decent chunk of any physical attacker that tries to hurt Umbreon, which is awesome. Hebrews says I'm going to go for another Wish because, we're pretty much just stalling each other out right now because we can't really do anything to each other. I mean, Foul Play did a decent chunk to that Zapdos, but not too much. I'm just going to go for another one just trying to get some damage off. So, yeah, and I think right now we pull a Double Switch. I could be mistaken, but he's going to switch out. And he's going to go into his Rhyperior, and I think I just went for the Foul Play. Yeah, I did go for the Foul Play here, because I wanted to do some more damage. And I was hoping, the next one I could predict in the Roost. But look how much this Foul Play does to this Rhyperior. It does a very, very nice chunk, which was very nice. Got this Rhyperior crippled a little bit. And now I'm going to go into my Slowbro to tank a hit. I do not want to bring out my Cobalion, which is actually more physically defensive than Slowbro. But this Earthquake does a really, really hefty chunk to my Slowbro, which really sucks. It almost was half because he's Life Orbed. And, I could have switched out to my Cobalion, predicting the Mega Horn, but the problem is my Cobalion can't do anything to hit that Rhyperior. So I pretty much just had to sack my Slowbro here. I had absolutely nothing to take a Life Orb Mega Horn, so that really sucks. I have to sack my Slowbro for pretty much little to no reason, so I didn't want anything else dying. I mean, Cobalion is kind of useful just because it taunts stuff, and it was pretty much my best buffer against Registeel. But I'm going to bring out my Shaman because this fronts this Rhyperior out really nicely. I'm going to predict the switch. He's going to go into Zapdos, and I'm going to go for the HP Ice because Rhyperior would have died to that from there. And I think Seaflare probably would have killed Zapdos from there too, but I wanted to be safe, and, HP Ice doesn't miss, so get out of here, Zapdos hose. So Zapdos is going to die to the HP Ice, which is great. Pretty good play on my part, and down that Zapdos goes. It was a pretty big threat to my team because the only thing I had to really counter it was my Umbreon. So But now I believe he goes into his Crobat, and Crobat is a pretty darn big threat to my team because other than Cobalion, the only Pokemon that I really have to base it was Slowbro, and Slowbro's already dead. So got to bring up my Cobalion, which unfortunately the only recovery it has is if my Umbreon does a Wish Pass. And, you know, I could have brought up my Umbreon there. I thought Cobalion was pretty much the safer switch-in. So I decided to, you know, let Cobalion take a hit. And clearly that's a banded hit. I mean, goodness gracious, I did it quite a lot, even though I have max HP, max defense. Cobalion is 91 HP, base HP, and 129 base defense. People often overlook that. But now I can predict, I guess, the T-Wave again, which was a pretty darn good play because I tried to go for that. I tried to cripple that Crobat, but it doesn't work. And yeah, that kind of puts me in a tight boat because I don't know whether to either to taunt him or just full switch out of here. But I'm going to go for the safer play, and after the leftover stuff, I will taunt him because I don't really want him to set up the Stealth Rocks just because it kind of hinders my team. I don't have anything that's too weak to Stealth Rocks. I really don't want the residual damage to happen. So he's just going to go. He's going to, you know, intelligently go for the Seismic Toss. Good play on his part to get some more damage on my Cobalion. And unfortunately, my Cobalion is at a range where it's most likely not going to survive another Brave Bird from that Crobat. But I really don't care at this point. Cobalion really has done its job, so I'm just going to Volt Switch out of here, do next to no damage, and go from there. So Cobalion's going to switch out and go out into my Mienshao. The MVP of this game is this Mienshao. Never underestimate Mienshao. It's frail, but it's so freaking good. It really is. It's a pretty good utility poke. I mean, not only utility, but it's a good utility attacker. But he's going to withdraw his Registeel. He's going to go into a Slowbro here. I predicted Crobat to come back in, to be honest. That's why I end up going for the Stone Edge here as opposed to the U-turn. And I'm going to hit that Slowbro pretty nicely. It does a decent chunk to the Slowbro, but not nearly enough as, you know, I would have liked, I guess. But that just shows you how bulky Slowbro is. But I'm going to go for the U-turn. And that actually does a really hefty chunk to Slowbro. Holy cow. But, yeah, nearly takes it out, which is great. Now Mienshao's going to U-turn, withdraw, and makes the Regenerator be up to full health right when I switch back in. Then I'm going to go into my Shaman because I guess we predicted like a Scald or something. But he's going to go for the Psy Shock, which is probably the better play. I was kind of fearing the Fire move, but I guess I didn't fear too much. But now I'm going to switch out. Again, I predict Crobat. I'm just scared of that Crobat right now. And he's going to go back into his Registeel. Now, I predict the Crobat, obviously. He's going to go for the HP Ice, which, you know, it's whatever. So I'm going to do like next to nothing to this Registeel. So, but who cares? It's a Registeel. It takes a lot of special hits like all day, every day. So, and this thing's quickly proving to be a problem. The only things I really have that completely demolish this thing right now are my Flygon and my Mienshao. So, I've got to play decently to get this thing down. Go for the Earth Power. Does a decent chunk, but they're so specially defensive, it's, you know, hard to break. So, I was kind of worried he'd T-Wave there, but he's going to go for the Seismic Toss. Going to bring me down all the way to 49 HP. But not too big of a deal because I do carry the rest, and again, in conjunction with Shaman's Natural Cure, I'm able to, you know, restore myself all the way to full HP, and then when I switch out, I can restore myself from sleep, which is great. And that's the whole purpose of Life Orb Shaman, really. It's a really handy niche that Shaman has. I can really utilize it the best. But he actually surprises me and goes for a rest of his own. I did not expect rest, to be honest. And I think he's got leftovers on that thing, too, which really caught me off guard. I was expecting maybe for him, if he didn't have leftovers, to have a Chesto Berry, but that's not the case. And, yeah, I don't know if he has Sleep Talk or not. I'm going to bring out my Registeel, and we'll go from there, because he actually double switches here, and I think he goes into Rhyperior. That's right. And to be honest, I really have nothing to fear from this Rhyperior, other than with my high jump kick misses. So this is actually a pretty crucial point of the game, and luckily my high jump kick hits, and that Rhyperior is toast because it's base 130 power, stab, all that fun jazz, Life Orb. So yeah, down goes the Rhyperior, which is great. And now he's going to bring back out that Crobat, and it's quickly getting worn down to the Stealth Rocks, which is great. But I've got to switch out. I do not want Mienshao dying. I'm going to bring up my Cobalion pretty much as death fodder here because it served its purpose. I really have no business keeping it alive at this point. So, going to lock himself into Brave Bird, and I'm pretty sure it'll kill, but I'm not 100% sure, and I think it does. Yes, it does. I had a feeling I was going to maybe lose a smidge. I couldn't remember. I took this match yesterday, I think. But, that Brave Bird recoil puts him into a range so I can bring up my Mienshao. And, you know, I don't care if you have inner focus, because my Fake Out, my Life Orb Fake Out is going to kill you from that range. So, down goes Crobat, which is amazing. Mienshao, you're doing work this game. I mean, a lot of people use Scarf Mienshao, but I usually find the Life Orb one to be a little bit more, you know, usable. But now he's done a big front. I completely forget he has this. This is Machamp. So I'm like, well, shoot, I've pretty much got to sack something, because I don't think a high jump kick will kill from that range. I'm going to go for the U-turn just to get off some damage and get my Mienshao back up to full health. And I bring out my Umbreon pretty much as Death Fodder. I have really no use for Umbreon. He's got nothing that can really status me, other than his Registeel, which I'm at this point where I don't think it's got even a status move. So I'm just going to let him smash my Umbreon with a Dynamic Punch. I'd rather Umbreon be dying than my Mienshao. Let's be frank there. So Umbreon's going to take a hefty hit. It doesn't die. That's what I was thinking of the smidge. I live with 4. So Umbreon living Dynamic Punches like a boss. And I have a feeling this thing's either Scarf. Actually, it's not Scarf. It would have it could be. I don't think it is. If it actually for a Bandit, I think it would kill me. So I don't know what item this Machamp is running. It could be Lumberry. I'm not sure, because I don't see Lefties. I don't see Life Orb. So I'm expecting it's probably either Lumberry or, you know, it's choice. But and then when we got Mienshao, I'm going to deliver some additional damage on that with Fake Out, because, you know, Fake Out is awesome. Now, if this thing had actually had its Dream ability, Steadfast, would have been pretty nasty, but who runs Steadfast in Machamp? But now I'm going for the high jump kick. Luckily, that's not Ness, and I'm going to KO that Machamp with a high jump kick, which is great. Mienshao, you're a monster. Keep destroying everything. So, and now he's going to bring out this Slowbro. He's down to his last 2, which is his Slowbro and his Registeel, and I've got Mienshao and I think 2 others left at this point. I had my Flygon and something else. I think Shaman's still alive, too. Going to go for the U-turn from that range. It will kill, which is great. So, that's awesome. So, and, you know, I know he's back down to his Registeel. So, I still have this thing, too. So, it's pretty much game over at this point, because I still have 2 super hard hitters to smack that Registeel down. I'm going to bring out my Flygon just to try to finish this things off as he brings up Registeel. And I'm just going to smack this thing with a bunch of load of Earthquakes. I don't know why I said bunch of load, but I did. So, Stab Earthquake, I am Adamant Scarfed. I really don't know how much it'll do, because Registeel is a freaking tank. And the HP goes down quite a lot. It lives with a smidgen, but then I found out it was a crit. So I'm like, holy crap. You bulky mother. Yeah. So this was a smidgen of a crit. Probably would have been a 2-hit KO anyway. I'm not 100% sure on that. I probably should run a calc. But, guys, that'll be the game. I hope you guys enjoyed one of my longer matches that I pulled. This was actually my 500th Wi-Fi win, just to show you how much I actually battle. So, my Wi-Fi record is actually now 501.09, which is a pretty solid record, not including DCs. I mean, I admit I DC at some point. Sometimes I usually either DC to complete assholes that are rude, or Shell Smash, and everything else. I hate Shell Smash, and, you know, I don't like DCing, but my rage gets to me, I will admit, and I apologize to that for anyone I've just DC'd against. I really don't like doing it, and I just do it in the heat of battle. So, but I don't know, that's why I have 109 losses. So, but not to say my opponent, I've had opponents rage quit against me either. So everybody's guilty of rage quitting at some point in their battling careers. But I'm enough rambling out of me. I hope you guys enjoyed that battle. Rate, comment, sub, and later, guys.